Good morning, everyone. It's Tess, and today will be tip 119. And I'm kind of following this week as why this time. Like I mentioned the past few days, Doc V kind of challenged us to go personal into our own journey. And I thought for me, since I've lost weight once before, gained it back and lost it again, I look at what's different this time. Why am I still able to stay engaged in the journey almost 5 years later? And today I decided the reason is learning, that I've never stopped learning. And I'm learning about different things this time than what I've done in all my past journeys dealing with weight loss. And by that, what I kind of mean is that in the past, I was always focused completely 100% on food, on what was healthy foods, what wasn't healthy foods, how could I spread the food out through the day, what could I do to the foods that I was eating so that I could keep eating what I thought I loved. Hi, Karen. Good to see you. So it was always about, in the past, my learning around my weight loss journey was about making the foods that I loved work into whatever plan. And I guess kind of by thinking about that, I'm thinking about like eating 6 times a day, adding protein to whatever food I was making to say that it was healthier for me. And this time, what is different about my learning on this journey is that I've taken it beyond just the food. And a lot has to do with like the brain, making sure that I'm truly committed to learning where I'm tripping myself up, because there is a whole mindfulness part of it, and learning where we can adjust how we think about food or how we think about our journey. And I think that's probably been the biggest change for me this time, and why I think this time I'm still in the game almost 5 years out. And I think it's because I finally realized that without realizing it in the past, my focus wasn't on changing my mindset. So my disciplines I needed to stay engaged in the journey weren't there. And this time, through the Doc V challenge, we've done a lot of commitment to learning what triggers us. Yes, there's so much more to wait. Yeah, exactly, Karen. And I think a lot of programs out there have tried to begin to touch on that, but they haven't really been able to dig deep enough. And I think Doc V has been a really great tool, because as a bariatric surgeon operating on many people, I think he did recognize patterns. And any of us who know his journey know that he was a director of bariatrics. And after coming to a point where he realized he was working for a health system who, and I don't want to downplay or say anything bad about health systems, because health systems have done amazing things for us in this past year and throughout all our lives, but their focus was on about fixing a problem and moving forward. And they really didn't have the staffing, or at that time recognize a need for addressing how to long-term succeed at this journey. And Doc V got to a point where he decided that he wasn't happy with how the journey was going, and he started to approach it from this mindset area and this learning area and controlling the thoughts. And this past year, like a lot with law of attraction, positive thinking, adding discipline in. So for me, it's been a lot of learning, controlling anxiety, and getting past this point of thinking, I have to have food 6 times a day. When I first went into surgery, or bariatric surgery, I thought that I would just be able to eat smaller amounts of what I always ate. I didn't recognize the need to truly walk away from, and we all know about walking away from processed foods and eating more healthier foods, but we have such an environment that directs us towards quick, fast, easy. We don't always take the time to say, well, like even now I'm learning that some of the stuff I thought was too hard to prepare, you can prepare fairly quick. Karen is actually a really good one, because she does a lot of meals and they look amazing, and she's using fresh foods. And you can see that you can kind of add that into your journey if you give yourself some time. And part of my learning has been, like I said, controlling the thoughts that sabotage me, controlling anxiety, learning how to release that, which has been gratitude journaling and meditation, because I've stumbled myself up by being worried and thinking that I couldn't succeed. And then it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You want to clear out those thoughts that make you feel like you can't succeed and start putting in the thoughts of action thoughts, and then the discipline will come with it, and get excited about it. We also know that, there's things we could learn in the journey, like pre-surgery, I drank a lot of milk, and I also had a lot of issues with allergies. But instead of digging in and thinking, and I remember in the back of my mind thinking that food could have a connection to it, but because environmental issues were identified as part of the allergies, I never took the steps to try to identify how my body felt about certain foods. And I've done that now and recognized certain foods make me feel lethargic, sluggish, my brain fog, anything like that. Yeah, Karen, that anxiety and meditation, that's been a world of difference and helped me to be able to look forward and not feel like a victim, to feel in control. And that's been critical. But even in the food, my approach to learning about the food this time has been different in that I stop and feel how the food makes me feel. Instead of thinking, oh, well, they manufactured it, everybody eats it, it's going to be good for me. I've stepped back. And ironically, and again, I'm not medical and I'm not a doctor, but I just have eliminated foods that don't make me feel good. And I think that's something we can all do. And I, at this point in my journey, don't even take allergy shots anymore, but I do take over-the-counter antihistamines. But I'm trying to recognize, what does my body like and what does it not like? Not what does my mind like and what does my mind not like. It's what does my body like. And yeah, Karen is right. Food is thy medicine. I'm learning about like certain things. Even dandelions have a purpose. And there was points in history where people would actually try to grow more and more of them because they have medicinal purposes. And I've been trying to learn about that too. Like what foods will provide you with vitamins and nutrients. I know in the past, like when I get my blood work, my blood counts are all in normal ranges, and I follow my doctor's prescribed regimes about, supplementing if I need supplementation. But by getting that blood work, I know where I stand. And then I actually even go a step further. And I'm always in the normal range, but if I'm lower on one area, I'll go, hey, I wonder what fruits and vegetables could increase that. And I add them to my smoothies. Because I truly think that the smoothie, Doc V says green smoothie a day. And that word green throws people off, but really it's not always green. And it's just a smoothie that you put fruits and vegetables in, blend it up, and I look at it as my all-natural energy boost. It's just a way to get vitamins and nutrients in, because many of us have smaller stomachs, and it's a way to nourish the body. And I just add things into that smoothie that may be showing as lower on my vitamin counts when I get my vitamin work from the doctor. But I think this journey this time, and I guess I'll kind of recap and then get into my work day, but in looking at personal, because that's what the doc challenged us with this week, the things that have been different for me on this journey, this time that I've lost over 100 pounds, and 5 years out, I'm still in the game and I'm not quitting. I'm going to keep going until I reach goal weight and keep learning and sharing, because that keeps me accountable. And I guess that's the first thing that I realized when I started looking at this. Going live and going public with you guys on these lives with Facebook has made me more engaged in the game, because not only am I failing myself, I'm telling the whole world I failed if I don't stay in the journey. And then the second thing that I kind of recognized is that historically I've expected myself, oh, sure, Karen, thank you for always being here. I appreciate all of you guys, and I love your lives too. So my first one is being public and sharing publicly. My second one is that I finally shifted what I think of perfection. I always thought that if I didn't eat exactly down to the minutest, smallest particle, my food plan or my exercise plan, that I wasn't perfect, and that caused me to fall. Well, what I've done is I've shifted. If I'm making progress, I'm perfectly working my journey. So I'm public. I'm knowing that progress is leading me down the perfect journey. I also get up early every morning between 4 and 5 a.m. and I watched the sunrise this morning. It wasn't quite as beautiful as it was yesterday. Yesterday it was quite red in color, but that should have warned me that we were going to have quite an interesting rain shower and a little bit of hail yesterday. Then I know that accountability, like I was mentioning yesterday, I put together a plan of what I'm going to do now that I'm getting close to ending my first quarter filings and my year-end filings. So I put together a plan so that I'm accountable with accountability partners. And then today was about learning. If I continue to learn, continue to identify what feels good in my body, continue to identify, recognize the negative self-worth, the negative self-talk, the negative items that I have in my mind that make me feel like I'm not perfectly on the journey. I got to ditch them, call them fat filters, call them monkey brain, call them whatever you want. But as long as I keep learning, recognize them, toss them out the window and keep moving forward, it makes this journey manageable, it makes it fun, and it makes it exciting. So my things so far this week are that I've gone public. I know that progress is a perfect journey. I get up early, I'm accountable, and I never stop learning. So I hope you guys find these tools useful. And now I'll get into my work day and see if I can't pump this quarterly out a little faster. And then I'm going to incorporate a little bit more activity. I'm not going to call it exercise. It's just activity, something I can do that's outdoors that I really enjoy. So have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you guys all soon. Thank you.